welcome to Clay to Canopy, the show where I attempt to make just about everything from the ground up. Today I am going to be working on some tiles that I am going to use for a table. Now this table is part of an environment, and this environment I'm calling the New England Sunporch. I'll be making an entire environment from the ground up. I've started with a chair. These tiles today are going to be for the table that are going into that environment. And I have a bunch of other things going on for this New England Sunporch, so if you want to check out what that's all about, I did an intro and that is in the playlist. I will take a moment to remind you, if you are not subscribed to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out. I am trying to build up my numbers. So for this table, I'm breaking it into two parts. One part of me making the tiles for the top, and the other part, the remainder of the full table. The tiles, I have to tell you, there were 1,500 tiles that I'm making for this thing, and it is a long, laborious task. So to make my tiles, I am going to be using this board that I made. It's a cottle board, some MDF. I guess you could call it chipboard. It's thin enough. But or 1/8 inch thick MDF, and I cut up some extra strips and glued it to the side pieces here. And what that's going to do is that's going to give me a rail for when I am rolling my slab on here, so that I can get nice and even thicknesses of tile. And then I have these textured pieces that I always go shopping for textures. Sometimes I find them in makeup kit brushes, and this guy came from the craft store used for clay. I do have some that I use for baking. I go on a hunt always for that, and I have a big bin full of textures. I'm going to be using some of those textures to create these tiles. I also ordered a set of cookie cutters that have various sizes. I'm going to be using this hexagon shape to make my tiles. Here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a slab off of my clay here. I don't need much of this because it's going to be so thin. Get that on my board, and away we go. Oh, it's a little bit hard. So right in the middle here is perfect, and then I'm just gonna add that on here. Use my cutter. All right, this is totally the easy part. These go into the kiln. I'm gonna fire them up. The part that became the major pain in this process was after they come out of the kiln. I don't like to mess with them when they're in this stage. It's a lot more delicate, and I could really jack up the pieces and lose my texture when they're like this. What that means is that it's quite a bit of work once they have come out of the kiln. I had to sand all of the bottoms of them. Mainly I was concerned about getting it flat. Once the bottoms were flat, I also went about sanding the sides of them to make sure that I had a nice clean side. Once they were sanded, it became a long process of glazing, and I had made 1,500 tiles and needed to glaze my 1,500 tiles in various colors. I think I have 12 different colors going on. My color scheme is the life cycle of a leaf. This entire environment is about changes and about transitioning, and the color scheme is reflective of that. Yeah, so pretty much it was just glaze away, fire again, and once they came out, got them home, sorted them out, and went about finding a pattern that I liked. Now, I had no idea what that pattern was going to be, and I just messed around with the pieces until I got something that was appealing to me, and then that actually became the inspiration for the quilt. These tiles have been over a year of an undertaking when I started them to the point where they're getting ready to go into this table. The quilt I have equally been working over, well over a year, maybe a year and a half now, could be close to 2 years. So you'll be seeing that coming up at some point. This was such a laborious task to do 1,500 tiles with all of these colors that I shot a lot of footage on the glazing part of it. So I wanted to share that with you. So yeah, that's basically all I have for you as far as making the tiles go for this tabletop. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe if you have not done so already, and stick around to see how this table all comes together.